You really think I went soft on him? How many of the videos did I make on this guy? Did it look like I simped to him? Or did it not look like I gave my honest, unbiased, unfiltered opinion on every step of the way? And so turns out I was wrong about Hussein after all. And so in today's video, I'm going to be going over the aftermath of all that has been transpired. And so you would think that I would know what I'm doing, that I could do a proper natty or not. But turns out I don't know what I'm doing. There is still no way I'm buying that he is natty. He is not. Greg went soft on him all of a sudden. I can smell some business or something. Tampering a blood work result is one of the easiest things to do in 2024. And so the majority of people, after watching the video and me reading over the comments, they just think, Coach Greg is in on it. He's literally just covering it up. He's planning to hire this athlete, and so he's covering up that he's a fake natty because Coach Greg wants him so bad to work for his company and sell his supplements that he's going to lie, tell everyone he's natural when he's not, and so it's all a big hoax, a cover-up. Did you not even watch the video? I went over everything. These are his friend's results who is natty. What do you think is more likely? That he paid off the doctor to use someone else's blood. Hey, doc, don't take my blood, use your own. Use my brother's blood work. And that blood work, that the results he sent directly to me, he didn't type up this blood work results himself and scratch his name out and type out someone else's name. The blood work was sent directly to me. And so if you don't believe him, ask him to send it to someone else. Who you got? Who do you want him to send his blood work to? They can send it directly to them. And I spoke to Hussein. He said, look, I'll send the blood work to anybody. And so if you think it's a big conspiracy that we're working together, that somehow it's a big secret that I'm going to give him as an HTLT athlete and that I've planned it, we're going to say that this guy put on all his muscle while taking Turk Builder, GO2 Max. Now remember, he made this transformation without using any of my supplements. And so how does it help me to lie and say that this guy's natural when he's not? What do you think's a better video for me? Let's think about it. If I would have got the blood work back and he would have had 21 nanograms per deciliter and I said, this is the next Isaiah Miranda. Look at this. I proved that he's been lying after all. Which video do you think I would get more views for? And so really think about it. Put your thinking caps on and analyze it. What makes Coach Greg look better? If I say he's a fake natty and then I get his blood work and he is a fake natty, do you think that's not better for me than if I say he's a fake natty, then he gets the blood work and then he's not? You didn't take into account that Hussein could be using masking agents. Really, you think that there's a pill, an injection, a beverage that someone else can drink and that it causes your testosterone levels to be in the normal range, that it changes your cholesterol, that your AST, ALT, that it puts them in the normal reference range. If it was, I would be selling it. I would say, hey guys, if you want to have the best blood work in the world, take blood work. And so I, in fact, do sell blood work. But guess what? If you take this, it's not going to undo all the damages from taking performance-enhancing drugs. Remember, he didn't take a drug test. This was not a drug test. You guys need to get it straight. This was blood work. A doctor takes the blood work. It's not some piss test. It's blood work. His blood. It's not a urine sample. He didn't send in his brother and take the piss test for him and say, oh, what did they test for? Oh, they didn't test for tren, and so that's what he took. It's blood work. If he was taking all these different drugs, D-ball, Anavar, Rad 140, Osterine, you name it, it would affect him in his blood. And I would argue that the blood work is more accurate at detecting a fake natty than actually taking a drug test. Because after all, if you take a drug test, and you aren't being tested for the drug that you're taking, you're going to pass the drug test. But this is his blood work. I mean, couldn't he just send the lab another person's blood? Oh, he sat at home and he got someone else's blood kit and sent it away. It's not. It's the Canadian healthcare system. It would be a very serious offense to send somebody else to the hospital and pretend and impersonate you. And so you think he just got his buddy to prick his finger and sent it off and said, oh, see, it's not me. I'm actually natural. No, that's not what happened. He's got money. He could have paid somebody else to take the test and pass it off as his. Greg over here, don't believe your lying eyes. I mean, definitely, he went to the doctor's office, gave him an incorrect MSI number, give him somebody else's health card, and somebody else took the test for him. He impersonated him. Imagine going through that trouble. If you believe that is true, what am I supposed to say? What am I saying to this? They never bothered to look at his driver's license to see if it was actually him or not, and so he just showed up and got away with it. Is it possible? Maybe. I guess it is. But is that more likely what you're going to believe? Could have been off cycle. Anyone considered this? Or are those not his bloods? If he's that good of a cheat, the World Anti-Doping Agency, they have to hire Hussein. Or at the very least, the teams from the United States, China, and so on. They are going to want Hussein in charge of their drug cheat program. Hussein, tell all the people, the Americans, the Chinese, whatever nationality you choose, teach them your ways. At least help Team Canada. Team Canada, hire Hussein to teach all the athletes exactly what to take to beat out all these drug tests. Because if everyone knew all the secrets that Hussein knew, wow, we would win gold in everything. And so do you really think that Hussein is that knowledgeable? That he knows more about how to beat a drug test than everyone we've ever met? Because I don't know how to do it. I know a lot, but I don't know enough to beat every drug test going into a competition and pass everything. Now, if you tell me there's only one test on this date and there's no out-of-meat testing and they're not going to test me for anything and they're only going to do a drug test, not blood work, well, yeah, we can beat the test. We'd know what to take and what not to take. But if you're getting tested multiple times and your physique doesn't regress, what more can you ask for? Let's see him do at the very least 1 or 2 more drug tests every 2 to 3 months and watch his physique fade away as he won't be able to cycle on and off in between tests. And so you can hate me all you like. You can call me a fake natty. Call me whatever you will. But do you really think that I'm going to cover up a fake natty on purpose for what? It makes me look bad. Why would I want to look bad? And so if anything, would I not do the opposite? I would make the video and say, oh, I still think he's a fake natty. Because you know what? He just cycled off. He cycled off in time. And so because he did that, we know he just did it in secret a year ago. But remember, if he in fact was taking steroids in the past and stopped them, he would have had to stop those steroids long enough that he would have lost a lot of the gains. But have you seen him? Does he look like he's losing muscle? Quoting what I said, a lot harder to buy steroids when you're cooped up at home. Brother, it's 2024. People are ordering them online, getting them right through the mail. It's possible. I said it's harder. I explained how things are probably harder for him. I even said it's not impossible that he started a cycle on day 1. Most people don't start a steroid cycle on day 1 training at home during that time of period with the mass. Most people don't. Not saying it's impossible, but let's assume he did. Let's assume that he did. Remember, he continued to put on muscle. You can imagine whatever you want to imagine that he was taking, but eventually he would have had to come off. He had to come off how to pass his test. How long did it take after the challenge for him to come off? A day, 2 days? Do you really think you can hop off everything you'd been taking for perhaps those 2 years plus on that cycle to get those gains? And pass a test in a matter of days? Remember, we talked about it in the video. The LH and FSH would have been suppressed and the ratio would have been off perhaps for months. And so unless he and I have been friends for months, perhaps for a year, plan this whole thing from day 1. Hussein, hey, Coach Greg, it's Hussein. Oh, hi, Hussein, never heard of you. Well, I want to do this amazing transformation. I'm going to put on about 40 pounds of muscle in 2 years. I need you to coach me in secret. Tell me what steroids and drugs I can take in secret. And I'm going to do this big thing for 2 years. I'm going to show all these changes. And then eventually, I'm going to get you to do a natty or not on me. And before I do the natty or not, I'm going to make sure that I get blood work done. I'm going to make sure that I'm off so that I can prove that I am not a fake natty. And so I said, oh, that's an amazing idea. I can't wait for 2 years from now when we do this. And so I coach him in secret and tell him what to take and not to take to pass all these drug tests. And he just happens to have such great genetics that he puts on all that muscle, has the tiny waist, and everything goes in all the right places. The shoulders, the arms, the chest. And he does all this from Montreal. Even though I'd never even heard of him until, a month ago, didn't even watch his channel, didn't watch him on Instagram, didn't know anything. You really think I went soft on him? How many of the videos did I make on this guy? Does it look like I sucked up to this guy? Did it look like I simped to him? Or did it not look like I gave my honest, unbiased, unfiltered opinion on every step of the way? And so it's not my fault he passed the blood work, but remember, it is possible that he cycled off, perhaps 6 months ago. I don't know. He somehow managed to beat the drug test. Somehow he had a secret guy. Perhaps it was Derek from More Plates, More Dates. Perhaps he had Vigorous Steve. I don't know. And in secret, they were telling him exactly what to take to fool Coach Greg when he would in fact do his blood work. Is it possible? Maybe it's possible. But if it is in fact possible, and he did in fact do that, we will eventually catch him. Will we not catch him? Do you think this is the first and only time he's ever going to get his blood work done? He's planning on entering a drug-tested bodybuilding competition. You're thinking, oh, but that proves nothing. Well, if he's in fact natural right now, but abused steroids in the past, and he's going to continue to diet down for a competition, and he's going to get drug tested at that competition, he's going to have to pass that drug test, and so he's not going to be able to continue to use steroids, and he may in fact get tested at any time. You want him to get tested now? Next week? 2 weeks from now? A month? Name the time, we'll test him. And we won't even tell him. We will surprise drug test him at any time. Will you then believe him? I don't think you will. Use the masking agent. How? We didn't give him any notice. Oh, well, he took that beverage, that concoction, that injection the day before the test. They passed everything. I appreciate you for clearing my name. These past few videos with you motivated me to start competing. If you're down for it, I'd love to have you as my coach for my first natural bodybuilding show. There you have it. I am going to accept this. I'm going to, in fact, help coach him, prepare him for his natural bodybuilding competition. Remember, we're making sure it's natural, that they're going to have drug testing. Not going to go in some show with no drug testing and he just comes in and says, yeah, I'm natural, and then no one tests him. Going in a natural bodybuilding competition. And so we'll have a chat. We'll see. Is he going to mentor men's physique, board shorts? Is he going to do classic physique? Is he going to do bodybuilding? Or perhaps he's going to do all three. And so don't you think I'm going to want to do this? I coached the Trend Twins, and the Trend Twins, well, that didn't end so well. And so why wouldn't I want to coach this guy? Of course I want to see him. I want to see somebody who's actually natural. I'm argue that this guy would beat the Trend Twins in classic physique competitions while being natty. There it is. That's why Greg is lying to protect this clown. Might even sign him. And so you really think that I want to coach a liar? Somebody who's going to go in a drug-tested bodybuilding competition, of which I'm going to have my name attached to that person. They then enter the competition and fail the drug test. I'm not Vigor Steve coaching the Liver King. Remember Vigor Steve did that in secret and then outed him? It's not Coach Greg. I out you right away. Before we would do the testing. If Hussein had been a fake natty, I wouldn't have tried to cover it up and said, oh, I'll coach you, we'll pass the test by then, we're going to make millions of dollars. It's not that complicated, people. I don't make all kinds of money from saying that Hussein is natural. Greg, a wolf doesn't concern himself with the opinions of sheep, bro. I'm not concerned with it, but I'm addressing it. There's a big difference between being concerned and trying to explain to people and prove beyond a shadow of doubt of what's exactly happening. Getting called natty by Greg Doucette is arguably one of the greatest feats in modern bodybuilding. Didn't believe it, but it's in the details. Fair play. Hussein knows that it's a compliment to be called a fake natty, and so even though the blood work proves that he's not in fact a fake natty, he understands that people are still going to call him out. But it's okay. It's actually going to help his channel, his following. You need to have some of the haters that come out and say you're a liar. That's going to help him. Your haters often do more for your channel than those that actually care about you. How do you know it's not a Photoshop document or someone else's blood work? They could just replace the names on it. If I say Turk the blood work, and just call him a fake natty and find a way to make him a fake natty or lie, whatever, it's a better narrative, but I'm not going to do it. I have integrity. And so I'm not going to sit here and despite what the blood work says, the guy's still a fake natty. That would be wrong of me, but yet it would be right for you. You want to think that he's a fake natty because it's easier to think that the guy couldn't have gotten those results while being natural. But I'm telling you, 1 in a million can do it. There are guys out there who are natural that have even better physiques than Hussein. Hussein doesn't have the best natural physique in the entire world. There's guys with even better physiques than that. And so are all of those guys fake natties? Is there not any person on this planet that could have a great physique? If you saw my physique when I was perhaps 30 years old, 100% natural, you wouldn't believe it. You said there's no way that guy's natural. Yeah, I was taking creatine, but that's it. 100% natty. No SARMs, peptides, steroids, nothing. No GH, whatever else I can add to that list that you're thinking, oh, you didn't add that on purpose. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. You can believe that no one can build amazing physiques when being natural, but I'm telling you, the 1 in a millions, they absolutely can. Do I have a 1 in a million physique? I don't know. I believe it's at least 1 in 10,000. Perhaps it's not 1 in a million, but it's certainly an elite level physique. I did, after all, get an IFBB Pro card. But all you're going to do is hate on somebody for giving you their unbiased, unfiltered opinion about what they see. What am I supposed to do? And so please unfollow. Bye. Do you think I need you? I have 2.1 million followers. I'm happy with 2. And so could 100,000 of you losers, could you just go right now? Just leave. Bye. Do I make money from saying if Hussein is natty or not, or do I make money from selling you this? Supplements, Turk Builder, GO2 Max, Harder Than Last Time, blood work, creatine, protein powders, cookbooks, G-Shred, hardcore pre-workout, and the list, it goes on and on, the Sequel bars. That is how I'm actually making money, from selling you stuff, not from telling you if a guy is natural or not. I might get $2,000 in YouTube ad revenue from making a natty or not video on this guy, but I'm not making more money by saying that he's natural than if he's not natural. And so you can now remove your thinking caps. You don't need to think anymore because you should have come to a conclusion. The video's over. You're going to either believe me or you're not. The video is over. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you like it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 books, of course, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans from me and my team. Get all that. Remember, it's not just about making money. Of course, you think that's it, but there's a free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages. Join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Get over to my website. Don't forget about code Greg for 15% off. And until next time, I am out.